Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Oh my gosh, Destiny folks, it's finally happening. Bo-Katan coming to ARH Destiny. So yesterday, Rock and Troll came on and kicked off spoiler season here on the Commando Cast and brought me a little gift. Bo-Katan we got to spoil. So today I'm running down her. She looks like a freaking beast. What we can do with her now, and certainly what we're going to be looking for during spoiler season and the set release on how we can use and abuse this powerhouse. Everyone, welcome back to Dice Commando and the Commando Cast, and thanks for tuning in on a Tuesday. But hey, we got stuff to talk about, and it's pretty awesome. So I am obviously, hopefully you can tell, maybe you couldn't, I don't know, but I'm very excited about Bo-Katan. Obviously one of my favorite characters, and she's a freaking beast, right? So I mean, let's just dive right into her. She is a 1316 yellow hero, leader trooper, by the way. 13 health on a 16-pointer. She's reusing the parallel die from her OG version, which is a 3-gun, 2 melee, shield, resource, and a special with a blank, of course. The special deals 3 unblockable indirect to an opponent. I do love that, especially, yeah. Well, let's get through the card. Power action: choose an opponent's die showing damage and force them to resolve it. You may then resolve one of your dice showing damage, increasing its value by 1. So a little bit of a trade there, but it's kind of a great trade, right? Because you can force them, like, you know, they've got a 2 and they've got a +2 and a base side, and you make them modify or resolve the base side, and then you get to resolve one at +1. It seems, and doesn't have to be one of her dice. No, it's one of your dice. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's pretty strong, actually. I think it's pretty strong. Especially, you know, because there's a fair amount. I mean, you know, putting it in context, there's a lot of blue out there that has modified sides, and well, even the pilots. There's a lot of times you'll get a ship like with Wedge. Wedge has modified sides. These ships have modified sides. Yeah, the Westar's got modified sides. So a lot of times you do see that they'll bring a 2-gun and a +2, and you take it away. Anyway, so I mean, I think you guys get that one, but man, she's phenomenal. Leader trooper. Now, we did actually, Rock and Troll, in yesterday's, we did talk a bit about how with convergence rotating, a lot of the stuff, like traditionally we were like, oh my god, they have the leader keyword, that's like the best keyword. With convergence rotating out, actually, a lot of that goes, not all of it, but a fair amount of it goes away. So, we'll see, but we'll see what leader carries forward. But I mean, the trooper keyword is fantastic. Yeah, so I didn't feel that we could do this justice without putting her side by side with her old version. Now, her old version was kind of cool, but we never really saw much play with it, right? She got played a bit once R2 came out, because she has the top 3 side. So like Braven, I remember back in the day, was running Big Bo-Katan and R2 with, I forget which 2-point plot. Might have been the move plot. Might have been. Anyway, so yeah, same dice, obviously, except in that case, a special will deal 2 damage to a character or 3 damage instead if this character has 1 or more villain upgrades, right? So just comparing these two, 4 points less, same die, 4 points less, 1 extra health, and a better special. Yeah. Now that's, I mean, it's putting in context where we're at today. I think the 13 health on a 16-pointer is pretty unprecedented, I think. But her job is to I mean, her theory job is to basically take the hit and give it back. Now, of course, they don't have to resolve the die against her, but I mean, I think that's the concept and design there. So, the 13 health, we'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, man, I mean, quite the upgrade from the OG version. But I really do like the parallel dice. So, all right, let's talk about. I mean, the thing I like the most on this is the special, right? The unblockable indirect is kind of funny because, like, that's kind of, I think, like, originally the idea, like, the idea with indirect was like, well, you could just put it where you want it and take it on shields, but now it's unblockable indirect, which is, I think it's kind of cool. We'll have to see how it plays out. I think it's a neat concept, regardless of how it plays out. I think it's a neat concept. So that's where my head goes, is basically how do we abuse the snot out of this special, right? Because unblockable damage, I hear, is good, especially in a meta with, like, today's current meta, like with Ki-Adi-Mundi, is like shield walls everywhere, right? And Luke, shield walls everywhere. So unblockable seems pretty good. So how do we abuse that, right? Largely, I mean, there's a couple options, but I think many of them, at least the obvious ones, are going to depend on what happens with the rotation / the reprint list change, right? So, right now we have Cunning, but I don't like. I think Rocket Joel actually even talked about, and I even talked about this. So, like, I don't think Cunning's making it through to the next reprint list. I don't. Plus, by the way, Moxie rotates out because Moxie's in Convergence. So you lose both of those. I mean, Moxie's the new Cunning, whatever. The less better Cunning, whatever. But they both rotate out because I expect Cunning to. Yoda, you could pair with Yoda, which actually doesn't sound horrible because Yoda's got his own set of unblockable damage. So will Yoda make it through the rebalance or the relisting, whatever? I don't know. But at the very least, Neiman's around for at least one more set. Right? Neiman came out with Spark of Hope. So we've at least got that for now, right? So pairing her with Blue, which kind of leads me into, I mean, she is 16 points, which means she can pair with 14-pointer. And there's a lot of pretty good 14-pointers out there. I mean, the one that comes to mind right off the bat is Ki-Adi-Mundi, who seems to be like, and for good reason, is kind of like the meta champion right now, I think. I mean, the guy is phenomenal as it is, and so we can play with him. Now he can't play Neiman from the drink, but he can play the upgrades and equipment, by the way. Do you know, by the way, I don't know if this is relevant or not, but Mandalorian Vambraces actually was on the reprint list. I just think of that because she's a Mandalorian. I don't know how relevant that is or not, but it's something there. So I could also do with Kara for red, right? They're both troopers in that case. Not that you really want to be measuring her die. And that is one thing that hurts, by the way, is that Conscript Squad is in Convergence. So Conscript Squad's potentially going to rotate out. I would think, like, that's one of my favorite cards. Like, I would think they keep that around, but they might not. So, I mean, again, we'll see, but, like, she would work with Conscript Squad. Now, she's not super great with Conscript, actually, because she only has the one. Like, Conscript's got a lot of modified sides, so maybe Conscript's not the right play here. But, again, I mean, my head here is how to just abuse the snot out of her special. Another thing, so while we're kind of talking about with only having, so she has 50% damage sides. That's what she has, right? But they're all different. But I think largely because of her power action, right? Her power action being able to essentially kind of interfere with your opponent's plan and let you resolve. Since you're going to be, in theory, power actioning really maybe anyway, I think that potentially she doesn't take as much of a penalty there, right, for her mixed damage sides. My point is, I think her power action kind of fits in with her mixed damage sides because you can get the resolution out of it anyway. So that's a pretty good bonus for her as well. So, I mean, obviously the 14 pointers is a thing, but you know what else is a thing with her is yellow 15 pointers, right? Because of Extremist Campaign. So right before I was shooting this earlier this morning, I was talking to Wyatt. We were just shooting the S around this, and he was pretty hot on Saw, right? Elite Saw. Now, to be fair, Wyatt is always hot on Saw. He really likes Saw, which is, holy Lord. Anyway, so Wyatt's always hot on Saw, which is fair. And I don't necessarily know that I like this, right? Because if we're playing Bo because of the shield wall approach, Saw throwing up the indirect, that's, her going underneath the shields, but then him throwing it into the wall of shields as you can distribute as you need, probably not super optimal. But Extremist Campaign with her is phenomenal because guess what? Another one of Andrew's favorite cards, Act of Cruelty, comes with Extremist Campaign. So if you're throwing this indirect underneath and they're distributing it around and there's nothing they can do about it, you know what else works really well? Act of Cruelty, that just throws one across the board. I love it. Act of Cruelty, which is unblockable indirect, paired with her unblockable indirect, is dirty as hell, right? I mean, that's pretty freaking phenomenal. So that is something to think about. I mean, her with Extremist Campaign, you're running 31 points. Now, it does have to be yellow. So right now, there's really no major obvious ones, unless anybody thinks Benthic's going to get put back to 15, but I don't think that's going to happen, right? So that is interesting, but, I mean, there's an argument here. I don't know. Well, I don't know if there is an argument, but like if you start going into the 3-die range, one of the things that we had talked about, well, let's stick on yellow, but if you go into the 3-die range, like you can start doing Mando things, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, let me pull up Mando just to double check that I'm talking right here, but pretty sure that Mando, there we go. So Dengarin, he is 14, 18, 22, right? So you could run Elite Mando, not double elite. You could run Elite Mando with single die bow. I'm not sure really what that gets you, to be honest. I mean, I don't think that's super great, but I mean, you could do it. But anyway, that type of line of thinking, right, is like, because Raw Control, now yesterday we talked, because that's where my head went right away as well, was you can actually pair her with single die Ahsoka from High Stakes, and then do like the Jarkai thing on Ahsoka, because then there's no real good target. Like, do they leave Bo to just kind of plank away at you, or do you get Super Ahsoka? I think you still have to go to Ahsoka on that point, because you can't Jarkai Bo-Katan, but then like there's some redeploys. That, I mean, as far as 3-die decks go, like that actually doesn't suck, right? So yeah, and then don't forget, like, she's yellow, so I mean, like Vibro Sword is a thing. Yeah, this is, man, she's freaking phenomenal. And Whistling Birds, right? Whistling Birds, which is your AoE go-to, because you lose. One more thing we're losing in Convergence is the grenades, the sonic grenades, sonic detonators, I think. So you lose that from an AoE standpoint, which is relevant here because if you're focusing it on the special, then that would be something you wouldn't hate to run, right? Because you have your special there and then you overwrite it later. But there's a lot of crazy good stuff here. The one thing about Vibro Sword is, for some reason, I always seem to roll the damn modifier on Vibro Sword. So, she only has, again, the one base side. She's not great with modifiers, right? She's not. But, big stuff is big stuff. And, yeah. And it would be cool if she could play. It would be cool if she kind of had the old throwback where she could like play villain stuff, because the Patar and stuff on her would be pretty brutal. But yeah, she's just phenomenal. Very, very. I mean, she's a beast. I don't think there's any denying she's a beast, right? Well, what are we looking for? 14-point characters, 15-point yellows. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I suppose you could try and do some like 3-wide nonsense maybe, but I think you're gonna be hard pressed for that one. But even her with Han's still a thing. And he's 14 now, so I guess he works anyway. But I mean, I'll run Extremist Campaign Honestly, I will. If I'm running all yellow, I'll run Extremist Campaign. Even if my team comes out to 19 points or 29 points, I'll still run it, right? So, I mean, just getting Act of Cruelty with her for sure is great. So, and I mean, that's really the piece today. Not super long episode, but very, very excited about all the possibilities here. Now, spoiler season, like we said, started yesterday. We'll probably get some more stuff either Wednesday or Thursday of this week, right? If they are on their old cadence, we basically saw stuff Monday, Wednesday, Friday, give or take. So 2 or 3 per week. We should be seeing new cards, more cards, very, very shortly. And the theory crafting will commence. But Bo-Katan being a major centerpiece of the hero side, I mean, we had already seen but Bo-Katan looked real good. Real good. So anyway, folks, let me know, are you excited about this as well? Let me know below. Make sure to give us those likes, right? I know most of you at this point are subscribed, which I do appreciate. Make sure to give us those likes because it helps get it up and gets eyes on it for other people. So give us those likes. Keep tuning in. Keep playing Destiny. And if nothing else, folks, go Commando.